by now you know what we're doing, following London Concorde on the right side of the taxi.
Roger, give way to all taxi and towing aircraft to stand at cold short to the runways.
checker.
Seabird Concorde Alpha Foxtrot. You're cleared to take off 27 right, surface wind 250 degrees, 11 knots. We'll all miss you.
Likewise, and for the very last time, clear to take off, runway 27 right, Golf Alpha Foxtrot.
If you're ever going to say a real goodbye to it, well, today is absolutely the day. The final flight ever of Concorde, due to leave Heathrow in the next few moments. Takeoff time scheduled for 11:30. This is going to be flying out towards Bristol, then round over to the Bay of Biscay, where it'll hit supersonic speeds, we're told, over the waters there, and then back to Bristol and back to its home at Filton Air Base, where it was originally built. So a momentous day indeed for this amazing aircraft. Once back at Filton, it'll be on permanent display there. The first British prototype took off from that airport in 1969, and today that airport in Bristol will be filled with huge crowds, it's anticipated, to see the final landing of this amazing aircraft. You'll remember just over a month ago, the end of the era for Concorde was proclaimed. There were 3 special commercial passenger flights landing at Heathrow within 5 minutes of each other. Thousands of people watched that on that Friday afternoon, you'll perhaps recall, at the end of October. One flew in, of course, from JFK. There were trips up and down the United Kingdom, and those 3 flights arriving just within a few moments of each other at Heathrow. Now, this one is the final movement of Concorde seen over British skies. So an amazing sight indeed at Heathrow this morning, just making its way down the runway. One assumes that with Concorde it'll probably get its allotted takeoff time. The aircraft will be received on behalf of that local community at Filton in Bristol by the Duke of York. This is Concorde number 216, and it's going to be flown over to Bristol, down to the Bay of Biscay and back up to Filton by British Airways Captain Les Brodie. And 12,000 Airbus and Rolls-Royce staff and their families will be watching the aircraft land at that Filton Aerospace site, along with 3,000 members of the general public who've won tickets to be there to see its final descent. It's expected to be extremely busy in the Bristol area. A lot of warnings about jams on roads around there. It's thought that some 600 people will stand on the suspension bridge at Bristol to see its final flight past. And Airbus has actually said that it's hoping that the people of Bristol and South West will really grasp the opportunity to watch Concorde fly for the last time and take great pride in the 27 years of service that it's provided. The service is provided, of course, to the rich and famous, because most ordinary mortals never have had a chance to get on board. There are also various other Concordes, of course, you'll realise, that are now reached their final homes. We were showing you pictures yesterday of one of them being taken along the Hudson River on a 260-foot barge, right the way round from JFK Airport to the Intrepid Museum. It's an airspace museum in New York, you may know it. One of them is going to be housed permanently there. Another is going to be at the Museum of Flight in Seattle, and another one, perhaps a happier landing in Barbados. Grantley Adams Airport in Bridgetown, Barbados will also be home to one of the Concordes, one of the 7 of the British fleet. The remaining jets will be kept at Filton, Manchester Airport and the Museum of Flight near Edinburgh and Heathrow Airport. So there we are. We don't have the benefit of one of those pilots like we did on the 24th of October to talk us through the exact technical procedure, but from a layman's point of view, it's obviously been cleared for departure. That famous nose edging into the murky skies above Heathrow Airport, and we'll just watch Concorde as it disappears from view, out towards Bristol, down towards the Bay of Biscay and back to its final resting place, the place of its inception at Filton Airfield. We'll keep track of Concorde as it's on its journey. Now it's back to Martin.
Bristol, where the supersonic jet was made, and will now go on display at a museum. Paul Muggeridge reports.
Given its final emotional send-off from Heathrow Airport this morning, this really was Concorde's last ever flight. It was little publicised compared to the show put on for last month's final passenger flights, but still hundreds lined nearby roads to watch the takeoff. This Concorde was the final one to be built once it was clear no other airlines were prepared to buy them. On board, 100 British Airways staff who have worked on the supersonic aircraft during its 27 years of commercial service. Their destination, Filton Airfield near Bristol, the site of the first ever flight by Concorde in Britain in April 1969. There, thousands had gathered to watch the real end of the supersonic era. They were treated to a flyover at 2,000 feet, but then, after a short delay while the flight circled the Bristol Channel, the now familiar sight of Concorde approaching from the distance. And then it was all over. Like all the other aircraft to be pensioned off after the fleet was grounded, this one will go to a museum. 2 have been given to America, prize exhibits for aviation addicts, and a reminder of one of the greatest technological achievements of Britain and France. But enthusiasts still have a chance to own a bit of the plane, with the auction of spare parts on December the 1st. Everything from a pilot's seat to the nose cone will go under the hammer, with the proceeds going to charity. Paul Muggeridge, ITV News.